this one, you're in for a treat. Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary, where I do the research to try to teach you a little something about what you're drinking. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the cask strength version of Redbreast 12. Now, as I mentioned kind of in that little intro there, this is going to be a good one, and I'm actually very excited to record this just because every chance I get to drink this, I'm happy. So if you're interested at all about Redbreast 12 and learning some more about the history of the brand, check out the link up there for my video that I did earlier in the week on Redbreast 12 and the history and everything behind the brand. Now, one thing I didn't neglect to mention is why they call it Redbreast. Now, it's not a far reach to imagine, especially when you see the bird on the front. This is named after Robin Redbreast, and the reason for that is one of the previous owners was an avid birder, or somebody who goes out and watches birds. So that's about it. It was his favorite bird, so we named it after that. So when we talk about cask strength whiskey, people like yourself and myself, this is one of those things we really enjoy. And the reason for that, I don't have to tell you, but for some people out there finding this video who are new to whiskey, is that you get to play around with the whiskey. You get to make it whatever you want. You get to do what the master distiller did. Puts a little bit of water in there, bring it down a little bit to lower proof. So see if you can even match the original Redbreast 12. So I love cask strength whiskey for a lot of reasons. I do enjoy higher ABV whiskeys, but mostly because they're kind of fun to play with. And if you really wanted to drink it with ice, holds up a heck of a lot better. So this was introduced in 2011, and as I mentioned, this is kind of Redbreast's way of saying, here's what you could drink if you came to our distillery, if you came and drank it straight out of the barrel. That's basically it. So this is made from a mash of malted and unmalted barley. It is triple distilled. It spends some time in ex-Oloroso sherry casks and ex-bourbon casks. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and give this a nose and a taste. Now that is a beautiful nose. Even with the higher ABV, which I should probably tell you what it is, this is 55.8% ABV. So pretty high up there. But even with the higher ABV, there's no burn on the nose. So go ahead and inhale deep. It's buttery. You got toffee in there, which I always love smelling toffee. I just like toffee in general. Vanilla, actually a little bit of hay, which I don't know that I've ever put that as a note. I've smelled it before, but I'm not sure I've ever put that as a note. So I might have to find myself a new icon, but oh well. Some butterscotch, a little bit of brown sugar. Those two tend to go together pretty well. You often find them both in the same thing. Interesting how much of the ex-bourbon barrel it carries over here. And that might be because it was cask strength and, straight out, you haven't watered this down, so you're getting some of the, my thought is that if you were to water it down, you wouldn't get so many of those bourbon notes. And part of that is, when I did the Redbreast 12, this one right over here, I didn't get most of those. I believe I just got vanilla. So, interesting. All right, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Cheers. Now, again, cask strength whiskey is always one of my favorites. And this one in particular has a lot of unique notes, stuff that I don't pick out very often. In fact, when you try Irish whiskeys, especially the triple distilled ones or ones when you try Irish whiskeys, oftentimes you're going to get this interesting coppery note. And I don't know if it's just mental, knowing that this is copper pot still, but to me I taste it, and that's all that matters. I taste a coppery note in there. Getting some fruits similar to pear, maybe a little bit of apple. Call it like a red apple though, because it's not the crisp green apple that you get, not the sweetness. It's more just, some people would say orchard fruits. I like to be a little bit more specific with that. So I'm getting pear, maybe some red apple. There's a little bit of toffee, a little banana in there. It's just very, very fruity. There's probably about a dozen other things that I'm not picking out in here. This is a very interesting whiskey for you to do some experimentation yourself. If you have one of my whiskey dictionaries, or if you have something similar with a radar chart of different tastes, use that. That would be a good one to try with this whiskey, because I bet that you could really dial in what you think about the taste here. So anyway, the overall, as if you can't tell, I love this whiskey. I think this is quickly becoming one of my favorite Irish whiskeys, and it makes me very excited to try a cask strength version of maybe something higher. Maybe the Redbreast 15, or even if they did a cask strength version of the 21. Ooh, I hope that would happen. That would be so good. But either way, they don't have those yet, so this is the best we get, and for right now, this is damn good for me. So please pick up a bottle of this. I think you will love it, and it will quickly become one of your favorite Irish whiskeys. So thank you for joining me here on the Whiskey Dictionary, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Cheers.